Yo, what's up guys? It's your boy Stevo here, back with another deck profile, and today I'm going to be showing you guys my Evil Twin deck. It's a deck I've been super excited to play ever since Genesis Impact, and we finally got a real boss monster for the deck, and it's a deck that's easily a tier 2, tier 1.5 deck in my opinion, and I'm super excited to show you guys. Let's go ahead and jump right into it. To start it off, I run 3 Kisako and 3 Leelas. So both of these cards have a tour guide effect where once you normal summon it, they can special summon their counterpart from the deck, and you can start going off in your plays from there. So it's a one. You have 6 starters in the deck that if your opponent doesn't respond to it right away, you're gonna go off for a little bit. So it forces your opponent to interact with you right out the gate. Once you normal summon one of these, it goes off from there. So yeah, these are 6 starters, gotta run it at 3. Next up for the extenders, I run 2 Frost and 1 Leela Treat. So I use these 2 basically for extending, obviously, and they're also the graveyard effects. Treat, not so much because it only comes up once in a while, like when there's any damage during the battle phase. You can make an opponent's monster lose that damage in attack. So that's pretty decent, not too crazy. Frost effect is the most important, which is why I like to run her at 2, because I want to see her more often. So in the graveyard, when your opponent adds a card from deck to hand besides the draw phase, you can banish her and draw one. So that kind of helps you disrupt your opponent. And it also helps you extend your plays. So I like running her at 2. You could cut it to 1, that's fine, but for now, I think 2 is pretty good. For the last of the Evil Twin main deck monsters, I run 1 Kisako and Leela. So I basically run her to send her off of Sunny's effect in graveyard. So Sunny, you could banish it, send her from the deck, hand or face of field, and send a card from your opponent's field to the graveyard. So she also has 2 other effects that don't come up as much, but is a good option to have. So when she's in the graveyard, you contribute 2 link monsters, special summon her to your side of the field, and she doubles in attack. It's pretty busted. And also, if your opponent controls 3 or more cards, you can make them banish or send cards from their field to their graveyard up until they control only 3 cards. So that's pretty solid as well, and it's not a bad option to have. You could cut her if you want. It's not gonna make or break the deck in my opinion, but it's a really good card to run in the deck. For the last monsters, I run 3 Parallel Exceeds. So I basically run it for extension and go into some rank 4 plays. It's pretty good in the deck. You could cut it and add another set of hand traps or whatever the case is. But I like to have the 3 in the deck as an extender, and it helps me go off on some plays from there too. You can also link into your other Evil Twin monsters. So it kind of helps the deck. It's a good little support for it, and for now it's been pretty well. For the hand traps, I run 3 Ash, 3 Nib, 2 Veiler, and 2 Imperm. So Ash is pretty much the staple of this meta right now. It's the staple hand trap, and it should be in every deck right now, besides Drytron. Nibiru is a sneaky hand trap, and it's one of the most important hand traps of the format in my opinion, and it should also be ran in the main instead of the side. Effect Veiler and Imperm, they work great in disrupting your opponent, and I would run it at 3, but in the main I have cross out, so I cut 2 of each just to make a little extra room in the deck. If I didn't run cross out, I would definitely run 3 of each and run 12 hand traps in total. Next up for the spells, I run 3 secret passwords. So this is the searcher for your spells and traps. which will search you your Sunny Snitch, and you can go off from there because that is your rota. So pretty much you're running 6 rotas in the deck if you want to think of it that way. So yeah, this is a must. This is a must at 3, and yeah, that's it. Next up, 3 Sunny Snitch. So yeah, you search it with secret password if you don't open up with it. And this is the card that this deck needed. It's what makes the deck a serious contender in the format. So it's your rota. It searches any life twin from the deck, and when it's on the field, every time your opponent summons, normal summons or special summons from anywhere, they lose 200, you gain 200 in life points. So it's a busted burn damage that just, it adds up. Trust me, I've been in long duels where I've gained 1500, I've gained 1600 to 2000 life points in one turn. So yeah, if you're versing a combo deck or any kind of deck that summons a ton, especially if you disrupt them and force them to go off and try to go more into their plays, you're gonna keep burning for 200, 200, 200 every time. Also, it is not just one per turn, it's 1 per copy. So if you have 2 on the field, it's 400. If you have all 3, which you probably never need to, it'll be 6. So it's insane, man. It's a crazy card. This is what make this deck a viable contender in this format. For the last twin spell, I run 1 life twin home. So this is a last resort kind of card because it does lock you into evil twins for the rest of the turn. So you can't special summon from the extra deck any monsters besides evil twins, but it does come in handy a lot, and you're basically going to use it maybe once per duel. You discard 1 card and special summon 1 Kisako from your deck, directly from your deck. And if you don't control any monsters, you can go off on your plays from there, because if any of the twins are normal or special summon, you can special summon the other from the deck. So it's a 1 card combo if you need it, last resort. You can also set it if your opponent clears your board, go off from there, discard a card and special summon 1 of the twins, set up your board before your next main phase. So it's a good card. You don't need to run it at anything more than 1, at least for now. But yeah, really good card to have, and you can search it, which that's why you don't need to run any multiple copies. You just, 1 is fine. You search it whenever you need it, go off from there. For the other spells, I run 3 Forbidden Droplet. This is literally top 3 cards in the game right now. It's busted. It's what holds down this deck, and yeah, I don't think any of my decks going forward is gonna not run this card in the main. I had it in the side in a lot of them, and I think for this format specifically, I think Droplet is a must in the main for sure. 2 Triple T's, also a must. I would run it at 3 for now. Deck is at 41, so I could, there's some cuts that I could make in the deck to add the 3rd, but 2 is good right now, because with Crossout, with this, it's just broken. Those 2 as a common, the 3 spells as a combination is busted. Here are the 3 Crossouts, a must run in the deck. I feel like this deck is pretty weak to almost every hand trap, which is why I decided to run the Crossout. You don't need to, don't get me wrong, you don't need to, because you would also run 12 to 15 hand traps and disrupt your opponent from there. But for this deck, for this purpose, I wanted to make sure my plays go off, I set my board, and I could win as much as possible. So Crossout is a must. These 3 in the main is busted, and I think it holds the deck down pretty well. The last 2 spells, I run 1 Call by the Grave and 1 Monster Reborn. So Call by the Grave it's pretty busted, man. When you set it, you can disrupt your opponent that way. It helps you go off on your plays. So having 3 Crossouts and 1 Call by the Grave, it really assures that you go off on what you need to do and set up your board to win. Monster Reborn is a sneaky tech card in this deck, because all it takes is you to special summon any twin from the graveyard and you go off from there. Even if it's a link, even if it's a regular twin, one of the live twins, you can special summon them from the graveyard. You can, for example, if you special summon one of the links, they can still activate their effects to bring up the other and go off from there. So this is why this is this is a really sneaky tech in the deck. You could cut it, you know, it could be a even 40, but this has like the 41st card, you could say, is not a bad choice, and pretty good tech to run in the deck. For the final card and 41st card in the deck, I run one Evil Twin Challenge. It's the only other trap I run. This is kind of like Trebregate Revolt, not as good, don't bash me, not exactly, but very similar. Why? Because you could target any Kisako or Leela from the deck, from the graveyard, and immediately link summon. So that's another way to disrupt your opponent if you need to. You set this, once they clear your board, just like with Life Twin Home, it's a way to set up your board for your next turn and also disrupt your opponent. So this is really good. I don't see myself running it at more than one, because you can search your secret password, because there's, you know, it doesn't rely on this card as much, but it's a good card to have in the deck, and right now I'm really enjoying it. So that's it for the main deck. Now for the extra deck, of course, gotta run 3 Trouble Sunny, the boss monster of the deck, and an amazing card in my opinion. So all it takes is 2 of the twins to link summon into her, and she has a quick effect where she tributes herself and special summons either one Kisako, one Leela, or both. And once you do that, the Kisako and the Leela go off on their play. So Kisako will draw one, Leela's gonna pop one on the field. This is a great card because you could disrupt your opponent on their turn. It is not only on your turn kind of card. It's a quick effect. It could happen at any moment that you choose, and it is a busted card in my opinion. It's a 3300 beat stick. Also has a graveyard effect. So on your turn, you could banish for cost, send any evil twin. So that means you could send the twins from the main deck, or you could send the Kisako or the Leela from the field. That's pretty busted. Why? Because the other twin could bring out the twin you just sent and activate their effects right then and there. This is very important. This is what the deck needed, and I'm telling you, it's made this deck a serious competitor. I love this card personally. Next up, of course, 3 Kisako. So both Evil Twin sisters, they have the ability of special summoning a twin from the graveyard. So, for example, if you link 2 twins away into Kisako, Kisako could bring back a Leela, Leela and Kisako could link into a Leela, and Leela could bring back Kisako, which will then trigger Kisako's effect. Not a trigger, you can activate Kisako's effect and draw one. So if you have a Leela and bring out Kisako, you can draw one. If you bring out Leela and you have a Kisako on the field already, you can pop one. So yeah, these are a must at 3. I've seen people run 3 of this and 2 of the other, or 2 and 2. I think that's pretty crazy. You need to run 3 of each in my opinion. So yeah, 3 Leelas. So yeah, this is the one that pops. And again, I've seen people run 2 of her. Not saying that you can't, I just think it's crazy. Because her effect is just to pop, Kisako's to draw. So with Kisako, you want to draw more, I guess. It's a deck overall that just draws an insane amount. Like you wouldn't believe it. So if you let the evil twins go off, this deck could easily draw 2, 3, 4 cards every single turn. It's insane. So yeah, these I run at 3. For the last link and kind of a tech choice, I decided to run 1 Underworld Goddess. Now there's a few other links that you could run, but I chose her because it's an out to Dragoon, it's an out to Enforcer, it's an out to a lot of problematic cards, Winda, whatever. Probably not Winda, maybe that was dumb to say, but probably not Winda, but cards that are just problematic for this deck. It's an easy out. because you can spam the field easily. So you can pretty much, yeah, that's pretty much why I like to run her. And testing has been doing pretty well. It outs a lot of boss monsters from all these other decks that are crazy in this format. So Underworld Goddess is a really good tech to run. Now I do have other options if you guys want to see those. So other options you can run are a Nightmare Unicorn, a Unchained Abomination, and an Access Code Talker. Now I know it's pretty crazy to not have Access Code Talker just originally, but I feel like you don't need to. I feel like the Evil Twin deck is not it could OTK, but it could also control the duel in a really good way that you don't need to overextend, and you don't need to try to kill your opponent right then and there. So that's why, you know, for now I'm not running him. Not saying I won't. I think I would for sure, but for now I don't think he's necessary. Unicorn, I would pick if I don't go with Underworld, I go with Nightmare Unicorn, because Nightmare Unicorn does come in handy a lot. So these two are for sure my number one options if you want to run one or the other. And it's a really good, and it's only a link 3, so it really does come in handy a lot, and it does come up more often than you think. Unchained Abomination has a effect where, let's say you pop with a Leela or any other thing in your deck, right? Unchained Abomination can get you another pop and then another pop at the end phase. So that's another good tech to run in the deck. Because the Evil Twins lock you into Fiend types. So once you use any of the Evil Twin Link Monsters effects, whether it's Kisako or Leela, you are locked into Fiends for the rest of the turn. So these 3 are the options that you would want to run, because right then and there you cannot go into Access Code Talker. You can't go into any other links. So that's why these 3 to me, and also Nightmare Phoenix, are the best options to run as the tech choice and the other big links that you run in the extra deck. So for the last 5 cards, I run 1 Sky Cavalry. This is my proxy. 1 Donner Magician. 1 Zeus. So this number 45 is an option. Don't get me wrong. You could run this because it takes 2 level 2s. So I would either run this, Sky Cavalry, or Gachi Gachi, which is another funny card to run, but it's also really good because it gets you into Zeus really easily. So for now, we're just gonna pretend that this is Sky Cavalry. That's the card I want to run in the deck for sure, because it's just a crazy card to run. It's amazing to getting to your Zeus, and it's a tech that people don't really see coming now, because obviously you could run other links. So a lot of other people run Cerberus, Unicorn, and Phoenix instead of these 3. I chose to run Zeus because there's a lot of decks and a lot of boards out there that are unbreakable. So because I run Forbidden Droplet and because I run triple T's in the deck, I could find a way to break boards easily with those cards and Zeus. So I chose to run these, and it's so easy to go into. You don't have to even go into your Evil Twin plays. You can just normal one of them, special summon the other, go into Sky Cavalry, attack, Downer, Zeus, clear board easily. For the rank 4 plays, I run 1 Abyss Dweller and 1 Baguska. Now, Baguska is such a funny card to run in this deck, because even when you use your Evil Twin effects, remember, you're locked into Fiends, right? So if you special summon the Parallel Exceeds, you can then go into your Baguska, which will then disrupt your Sword Souls. It'll disrupt your Dragon Links. It'll disrupt Dry Charms. It'll disrupt Flunderies. It'll disrupt Tri-Brigade. This is a really sneaky card to run in the deck. It's really funny because people are just like, why are you running this? Well, here's why, buddy. And this is just, right now, a main. It's a main option in the deck. Abyss Dweller. Now remember, you can't go into this after you use the Twins effects. So you want to make sure when you summon the Parallel Exceeds, you go into Abyss Dweller first and then activate one of the Twins to bring out the Twins. One of the other Twins. So yeah. Abyss Dweller is great for when you know what you're Abyss Dweller is great for when you know what you're going up against. So remember, you can't go into Abyss Dweller if you use one of the twins effects. So you typically, if you have your parallel exceeds on the field, you go into Abyss Dweller and then you go off and go into Trouble Sunny. So this is when you know that, you know, your opponent's gonna depend and rely on their graveyard effects, and this will stop them completely. So these are two of the best rank 4s to run in the deck and for the format that we are in right now. So guys, that was it for the deck profile. I really hope you guys enjoyed it. If you did, please leave a like, leave a comment down below, and I hope you subscribe and stay tuned for more deck profiles to come. So this deck is a lot of fun. There's other variants out there that I want to try, like the Edge variant, and hopefully bring you guys another deck profile of that particular deck. But for now, again, hope you guys enjoyed it. Thank you for watching, and stay tuned for the next deck profile. Peace.